It's a new day, Noonan. Yes, it is. It's me, your vitriolic ventriloquist, Harold, throwing my voice as hard as I can to make it seem like a puppet is talking on the other side of the room. I got a good topic for y'all today. I hope that you are hungry this fine Sunday evening, which is when you will be listening to this. That's not the day that the podcast drops, but that is the day that you will be choosing to listen to my dulcet tones that are full of vitriol. Vim and vigor, vitriol, vanilla ice cream. Speaking of vanilla ice cream, I know how much y'all like to eat food. I know how much y'all like to eat a big yummy dessert. So, this episode's going to talk primarily about those things. And we're going to finally answer the question. We're going to break it down and ask what everybody's been wondering. Is Miller's the Chili's Killers? That's right. We're going to be talking about the Miller's Ale House, which is slowly to me becoming the new Chili's. I know, it's shocking. When you think about Noonan, when you think about the places that you can eat in Noonan, there's of course all the local joints downtown, right? And everybody loves those, because you have to love those. If you say you don't like those, you're a bad person. But every now and then you want to go with a chain, right? Instead of being off the chain, sometimes you want to be really, really on the chain. Like a BDSM kind of scenario. The chains are good sometimes, right? Sometimes you're into the chains. Sometimes you're into having your mouth have like a pirate's bandana wrapped around it. And then the person who walks into the room looks exactly like Jack Sparrow. That's the thing. I was pre-planning the joke of Jack Sparrow, so I said exactly. And you know what? Exactly's a good bit. It's a good bit. If something looks exactly like Jack Sparrow, you say it looks exactly like him. Oh, man. Either way, so the joke was going to be that Jack Sparrow comes in there while you have a pirate gag in your mouth, and it was going to be some BDSM things with the Pirates of the Caribbean twist. Speaking of twists, let's talk about pretzel twists. I don't know if Miller's or Chili's has those, but if they did, that helps. So let's talk about Miller's. Miller's is a relatively new joint that's opened up in our wonderful, wonderful county of a Coweta variety. And it's your typical, like, bar food. You know, it's going to have, like, your Buffalo Wild Wings kind of shenanigans. It's going to have your Applebee's affair. It's going to have your Texas Roadhouse-esque. That one is a little bit different. But, you know, if you want to sit down at a restaurant that's like a step above a McDonald's, then these are your choices. And for the longest time, Chili's was my baby. Chili's was my sweet, sweet, darling baby. But then Miller's came around, and I started going there more and more, and I am worried. I'm worried, gang, as are you, that Miller's may be the Chili's killers. Let's talk about what Miller's has going for it, right? First off, location. Location, it could not be in a better location. Miller's Ale House is right there, right before you get to the absolute worst part of, well, not the absolute worst part, it's a little farther in, but it's going from Sharpsburg into Peachtree City, where eventually you're going to hit that intersection and you're going to get jammed up in the traffic. But Miller's is located right before the traffic. Mwah, 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 mwah. If you know you're about to go to Peachtree City, like me, I want to go to Peachtree City because I want to eat some delicious, wonderful Chili's. Get their monthly $5 Margos. But I got to get through the traffic, right? You have to sit through the awful, awful traffic, even when it's not like lunchtime. Which, you know what? I will say, Chili's does have a tremendous lunchtime special. It's just, listen to me. If it is lunchtime and you're like, hey, I want to, I want to go get some lunch, I could go to the good old-fashioned McDonald's or whatever. You could do that. But everything's gotten more expensive. But kind of like by comparison, things like Chili's have gotten cheaper. Right? They have a very good lunch special that's going to run you about the same if you get something off of a McDonald's. I did it again, exactly. The McDonald's dollar menu, right? So if you're in Peachtree City, go to Chili's. But that brings us to the issue. If you were in Peachtree City at that lunchtime hour and you're trying to go out and get food from somewhere else, you got to sit in that lunchtime traffic, and that sucks too. Miller's doesn't have that problem. I don't know if Miller's lunchtime special, right, is as good. I'm not 100% certain. I don't do anything at lunch. I can do a quick check here. Let's see, like $8, right? $15 for a brunch burger. Yeah, that seems a little bit pricey for a lunchtime special. So Miller's probably does lose there, right? But you don't have to go to Peachtree City. You don't have to do it. And I know that that's the worst part of anyone's day, right? That's the worst part of anybody's day, is having to go through Peachtree City. I know this. You know this. Everybody knows this. We all love Peachtree City. My wife swings there. whenever we're swinging, that's where my wife goes. I don't go. I like to keep my swinging local. I only swing in downtown Noonan with all of the geriatrics and college kids. That's the only thing. Listen to me. If you are between 25 and 40, I want nothing to do with you. Right? I need those. Well, no, I guess 25 still colleges. Tell you what, 27 to 40 range, right? Anything in between there, I'm not into. I don't want it. But anything after and a few things before, not too far before, okay? Understand this? That's where I swing. That's where I do my swinging, is over there. Listen, I got off track. I started thinking about lunchtime, and that always happens when I think about lunchtime. I get so hungry. I don't eat enough. And I really ought to. I have like a very, what do you call it? Jurassic. I have Jurassic types of hunger. I hunger like a dinosaur hungers, which isn't to say I'm extinct, right? I understand that dinosaurs can't get hungry anymore. But if they could, I could be as hungry as a dinosaur. And that's on God. That's on God that I could do that. But the thing about dinosaurs is that nobody really knows how hungry they get. And it also depends on the DNA of the dinosaur. Like some dinosaurs, I'm sure, eat more than other ones. Like a Brachiosaurus. You know how long it probably takes them to feel full even after they've eaten? Just because of how much neck the food has to travel down. They have probably eaten enough to not be hungry anymore. Like 5 minutes into eating, but since the food takes so long to get to the stomach, they always overeat. Or they always undereat because they're like, oh man, I know how this goes. Right, I know how long food travels down my big long neck. I gotta cut back. And then, 10 minutes pass and they're like, well, I'm still a little hungry. I guess I called it wrong. And the Brachiosauruses, they really struggle with their dietary issues. And that's not even going into the fact that, like, in Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, all those, that all of the DNA is kind of spliced, right? The genetic makeup. I don't remember if it's exact. So some stuff might be off. Listen, I gotta talk about Jurassic World for a second. I hate Jurassic World more than almost any movie. Because one of the first scenes in the movie is, like, they have this, they got the big old place where what they're building all the dinosaurs at, the theme park, because they build them at the theme park. That's the thing, is that the scientists who make the dinosaurs, they do it all in-house, which I don't think is quite is quite how it would work. But maybe, I don't know, it's a fake thing, it's all fictional. But when the person who owns the whole park, who pays for the entire park, the person who says, hey, look at me, I'm the actual person who funds everything you do. Hey, what do you got there? Is that the Tyrannosaurus Maximus or whatever, like the big dinosaur is? And he's asking him, like, hey, what did you put in this thing? What did you put in this big dinosaur? And Dr. Henry Wu, the scientist behind it all, just doesn't tell him. He just says, I'm not gonna tell you, right? This is my work and you do your work. And he just says that to the person who runs the whole park. And then the person who runs the whole park and pays for that guy and does everything else just kind of goes, okay, sure. I don't think you're doing anything weird, especially with the fact that you're not telling me what DNA you're putting into this Gigantosaurus Rex, or Indominus Rex, I think it's called. So stupid. It's so stupid that one Dr. Henry Wu can just do that. He can just say, hey, person that pays for everything, I'm gonna not tell you about the job you pay me to do. I'm not gonna give you the information you asked for this thing that I'm sure I'm contractually obligated to tell. Fucking, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. It's my podcast. I can say fuck. You know, what's the worst that can happen? I am Harold. I can do what I need to. And so what? Yeah, it turns out, oh, whoa, you put frog DNA in there so it can go covert. It can camouflage like a frog does. And there's also, what, T-Rex DNA in the dinosaur movie? Absolutely dumb. And you know what's so stupid is that the movie is so self-aware, but it's also incredibly dumb. You know what I mean? So, like, everything in the movie references back to the original Jurassic Park. And it says, hey, I'm doing Jurassic Park stuff. I hope everybody likes how it reminds us all of Jurassic Park. There's even a person who wears a Jurassic Park shirt in the movie from the original movie. And so everybody has this knowledge of Jurassic Park, and everybody treats it like it's all very tongue-in-cheek. And then so for all the characters to be like, yeah, we know all what happened in Jurassic Park, and then still be, oh God, it's worthless. A garbage movie. I hate it. I hate the movie. I hate Jurassic World. It just doesn't make any sense. And this isn't even getting to like the Chris Pratt stuff. I got no issue with Chris Pratt. He doesn't bother me in any substantial way, right? I didn't like his Mario. Okay, I'll admit that. I loved his character in the Lego movie. I thought that was great. Didn't care for his Mario. I thought, yeah, you know, that's a little too off. That's a little too off topic. I liked the movie where him and Jennifer Lawrence were in space. I think they could have made like one decision and had it actually end up being a great movie. But they got a little weird with it, but pretty solid. They're in outer space. It's just the two of them. I think the movie is called Just the Two of Us. And it's like an old 90s rom-com with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence when they were both like maybe 20. Maybe 20. They were in there. But I'm not 100% sure. You know what? Who's to say? There were lots of good things that came out in the 90s. I was thinking about one of my favorite styles of jokes, speaking of 90s movies, and that is, I love Air Bud jokes. I don't know if y'all have ever talked about like Air Bud jokes, but like just the whole idea of there's no rules that say a dog can't do blank is funny every single time. There's no bad way to do the joke, right? So you could do, oh, this is Air Bud. Spelled H-E-I-R, and this is the one where Air Bud becomes a king because he's the heir to the throne, and then all of like the people who thought they were next in line for the throne, they're just like, oh, hear ye, surely a dog can't be king, and then they check the royal decree, which which clearly states there's nothing that states a dog can't be king. And that's like in the royal decree. Like, there's just a clause in there that says there's no rule that says a dog can't be king. You know, I think one of my favorite variants of the joke, though, is a movie that's just called Bud, right? It's just called Bud, and it's just the dog from Air Bud enters a dog show. And so, like, everyone's just like, oh, you know what? It actually says right here that a dog has to do the competition. Like, like nobody else could. And the rules clearly state that a dog must be the only type of creature that can do this one. And I like that one. Air Blood, where Air Bud is a vampire, right? He gets bit by a vampire, and then he becomes a vampire, but not a werewolf. I think it's funnier if there are werewolves in the movie. Because they're just like, hey, wait a minute, how come we turn into dogs, but this dog can turn into a bat? Right? Surely there should be something about that in the code, in the vampire code. And then, of course, you know, Nosferatu rolls out his big scroll, and he goes, hey, well, there's nothing that clearly states that a dog cannot be a vampire. Come on, he's just a dog. Surely you can beat him to win the heart of the fair maiden. Oh no, now we're getting into like, oh, what was that? Christopher Walken, I think? Hey, it's the dog. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Christopher Walken is dog, maybe. Look. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, anyway, back to what I was originally talking about. The new Jurassic Park movie that's coming out actually looks pretty good. I feel like what they're doing is still might bum me out, because I feel like what they're doing is they're going the Tremors route, if any of y'all watch Tremors, which is to say, like, why not just put regular dinosaurs in different environments? But they can't just put the dinosaurs in different environments. They also want to genetically change the dinosaurs. So these dinosaurs aren't necessarily doing what a dinosaur would be doing scientifically or whatever anymore. Like, I think in the trailer for the new one, they had, like, I think I saw a point where there were, like, velociraptor-looking things that had wings. Or, like, they had wings on their arms, with the implication being, oh, it looks like these velociraptors were experimented on so they can fly as well. And we don't need to keep doing that, right? I mean, you could just put velociraptors, like, on the Great Wall of China. Let's have everybody do a Great Wall of China Jurassic Park. You can have the same dinosaurs. Look, people, there's the stairs down at one part of the Great Wall of China, and there's stairs down on the other part. There's a T-Rex at one of the ends of the Great Wall, and then there's velociraptors at the other end of the Great Wall. Which direction do you take? How did you get in China? What's the deal there? I think, man, we should have just tried different things first, is all I'm saying. That said, I haven't watched the first 3 movies in a real long time, so maybe that's what happens in the second one. Maybe that's what happens in the third. Problem is CGI, right? In the first Jurassic Park, everything was practical. They used real dinosaurs. The only thing they CGI'd was Jeff Goldblum. No, they did have the water, though. And they had Nedry from Seinfeld get eaten by a spit man. Dilophosaurus? Hold on, I have my computer right here. Dilophosaurus, is that the spit daddy? Ooh, that's spit daddy. I'm looking at these little side flangers going off on this guy's big horned head. Or frilled head, I guess. I don't know what you call those two things on the topmost part of the head. Is it a frill? Do you call it a frill? Is it a frill? Or is that what they call the weird parts that stick out the side? Hold on a second. This is important. Give me one moment. Dilophosaurus head sticker outers. Apparently these are referred to as a crest. These are a crest. I'm learning. Oh, well, you know what? I screwed up. I put sticker outers, and so now it's giving me a whole bunch of links to Etsy and Redbubble to get me some Dilophosaurus stickers. So I could get on that. I could get on that, I guess. But I don't really want to know what that is, what that is about. It's called a crest. The Dilophosaurus has a double crest. I have to assume for defense, and then it Tajiri spits just as a finisher. It's got the Tajiri spit move as a finishing move, which is good. It also does the tarantula, puts him up against the turnbuckle, does the tarantula grip, and swings the arms and legs around and makes him look like a spider in there. Which, you know what? Not a great submission hold. Truly not a great submission hold, because what ends up happening is that you have them just in a rope break. Right? Like, so unless this is like a no DQs match, which is a silly type of match, because I feel like they differentiate too much between like no DQ and hardcore matches, and they don't just call them the same thing, even though they're the same thing. I guess hardcore implies more weapons, but in a no DQ, you can just use them. I should just call it hardcore matches or no DQ matches every time. And I think that the differentiation is foolish. So the next time that you're watching, like, you know, a Dilophosaurus versus a Brontoton in the WWE, which of course stands for, wow, everything's prehistoric. That's WWEP. Whip. What would Elijah pursue? My favorite biblical analogy. What would Elijah pursue? And as you all know, Elijah from the Bible, he was a good one. What did he do? Oh, okay. He just argued with King Ahab and Baal. Oh, man. You know what? I feel like Elijah's a little bit of a try-hard, a little bit of a brown-noser, now that I'm looking at the name. Because apparently what the name translates to is just Yahweh is my God. And, like, we get it, okay? We get it. You follow the Lord. We get it. You're a Christian. But you gotta calm down. You simply must chill out. It would be like if I changed my name to, hold on. It's like if I changed my name to, La Chilis es Droga, which, just translates to Chili's is dope. Just so everybody knows that I'm a big proponent of Chili's. Because I love Chili's. It's one of my favorite restaurants. If you're ever in the Coweta County area and you're looking for some good food, you're looking for something like real yummy to eat, I cannot recommend Chili's enough. They have if you like pasta, if you're into pasta, their Cajun chicken pasta, I like it quite a bit. It's my favorite pasta, although, you know, there's a super delicious pasta at Miller's Ale House. I don't know if y'all have ever been to Miller's, but Miller's has a wonderful Oh, God, they even got a new one up right now. The Pasta Orleans, chicken and shrimp over fettuccine with a Cajun Alfredo sauce. What are you talking about, baby? Please tell me what you're talking about, you sweet, sweet thing. Oh, God, I can't look at this menu. I can't look at this menu, but I'm going to. Oh, boy, I'm going to. Listen, y'all go to the ale house, the Miller's Ale House menu, and y'all just take a look-see, right? When I go there, the thing that I normally get, actually, do they still have it? The Cajun chicken pasta? No. The Parmesan Zingers mac and cheese? Oh, no, they don't have the one I normally get. They took it off the menu? What do you mean? What do you mean you took it off the menu? Listen, Miller's had the best bar pasta that I've ever had in my life. Blew Chili's out of the water, but Chili's stayed true to its game. Chili's didn't try to get a once over on me. Chili's isn't trying to lie to me. When a thing gets put on the menu at Chili's, unless it's clearly stated as a gimmick, it stays on that menu, okay? Chili's doesn't mess around. Now, yeah, I understand they got rid of the 2 for $20. Hell, they got rid of the 2 for $22, right? Because, of course, inflation. And this was like post-pandemic, right? I know it. They got rid of it. Okay, the lunch specials. They're good, but like if you want to go there for dinner, whatever. But Chili's isn't going to pull the stuff of getting rid of the best pasta that they had. Now, I know what you're going to say now. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't you just say Miller's also had like a Cajun chicken pasta? Isn't it just going to be like the same as Chili's? No, listen. The Cajun chicken pasta at Chili's is the best Cajun chicken pasta that I've had. It's the best Cajun chicken pasta you've had. The reason why the Miller's one was so much better was because it was not just chicken. It was shrimp. It was like little scampi bits. It was some calamari bits, right? It was a whole smorgasbord of little seafood driplets getting it up in the sauce, and the sauce, they were not stingy with the sauce. They would coat that mother down like a mama who is cold at Walmart shopping for a coat. Some analogies are bad, okay? Not every analogy is going to be good. Not everything is going to speak to the heart, right? That's the issue here. Chili's, when I'm talking about Chili's, Chili's is the muse. Chili's flows through me. Yuruma style, baby. Like a river. Oh, like a river. Stand up, baby. Come on, stand and deliver to my house. Be a DoorDash Chili's, please. And thank you. Sweet baby. Will not leave a tip. That's a promise. No, I will, because they're bringing me good food. But if I was to order Miller's from DoorDash, I wouldn't leave a tip. And honestly, that makes me the bad person, because that's not their fault. They're just trying to get their money. But I'm so steamed. I'm so steamed about this, because it was like the main thing I was going to talk about. I got a whole thing lined up. I had a whole thing talking about the differences in the pasta. Now, don't even get me started on burgers, right? Don't even get me started on burgers, because now I'm back to being conflicted. Now I'm back to being conflicted because, listen to this, Miller's, when it comes to their big, dumb, silly burgers, they've got a really, really delicious gimmick burger, right? Chili's is kind of skimpy on the gimmick burger, but they got the prime burger at Miller's, right? It's a mainstay, Miller's favorite with the red star asterisk, okay? Now, see, that's where Chili's... Listen to me, okay? I know what I'm about to say here, but Chili's, when they do gimmick burgers, those things go away. Chili's will take off a gimmick burger, right? Those things never stick around. But this half-pound, hand-formed, 100% ground beef patty, seasoned and grilled to order, melted with American white cheese, shaved prime rib, roasted mushrooms, sauteed onions, gravy, crispy onion tanglers, and garlic crema. on a toasted bun served with fries. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm willing to listen to whatever you say. Blank slate me, dog. Sign me up for the Miller's Army. I'm a Marine. Salute the Miller's Ale House flag is what I'm saying in regards to their burgers. Only their burgers. Right? But I'll join the Chili's Navy of Cajun chicken pasta. Ah! Oh, God, I lost it. I lost it somewhere around there. You see, the heart, maybe polyamory's right? Maybe polyamory's onto something. Because for the longest time, I didn't think you could love two things. I have always been a big proponent that there's the one person that gets my undivided love, right? And I didn't think I could split it, but I'm realizing now that I do feel very strongly about what each one has to offer. And the issue is that I was relying on Chili's too much to represent the main feelings. But Chili's doesn't have all of the answers, right? I know that Chili's doesn't have all of the answers. And Chili's also knows it doesn't have all the answers, right? Because Chili's is willing to try new things. And so is Miller's, right? They're both willing to try. They're both willing to understand, what I'm going through, what they're going through. And we've had our ups and downs. And yeah, it might be a little scary because Miller's is new. And Chili's really thought it had a hold on me. But Chili's knew that I never ordered burgers off the menu. Chili's knows that the burgers on the menu are not really that great. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong, Chili's. Listen, baby, they're good. But when me and you were hanging out, I like the atmosphere. I love your vibe, sweetie. I love what you bring to the table, but I especially like where we fall on Cajun chicken pasta. Now, I will admit, right, Miller's, they did the same thing that anybody who butts their head into a relationship, they're just like, oh, you like the pasta? Here's some pasta. And they shake it in my face, trying to get all up into my psyche, right? Like that Keanu Reeves movie with the two ladies who break into his house or whatever. It's free pizza, they say. It's free pizza. And the thing about it is I should have known that pasta could never last. It was too good to be true. I got a taste of that pasta, and I said, you know what? Maybe I've been missing out on something. But the thing is, that pasta was the hook, and I bit down on that hook. I bit that hook with the delicious little scampies and stuff all up on that hook as it pierced through the topmost part of my mouth, my big, hard upper mouth. Have you ever gotten a shot at the dentist? You know how when they give you a shot in the upper part of your mouth, you can hear it and you can kind of feel like a pop when the needle goes in? I'm sorry if that's really, really visceral. That's nightmarish, and I apologize. But that's how it felt when I first took a bite of that delicious, delicious pasta from Miller's Ale House. And I did lose my way. But the thing about it is that I never gave up on Chili's, right? Me and Chili's were still good. But I did get caught up in the newness of it. And I will admit that maybe I let go of some of my communication skills with Chili's, right? We talked a little bit less. I'd be checking my phone whenever Miller's would be sending me an email talking about a coupon, and I'd be smiling, and I'd be going, oh. and then they would say, who's that? And I said, Miller's. And oh, okay. And I'd be like, why, are you hungry? And I'm like, oh, not really. And I just keep smiling and I'd keep looking. But the thing is, I feel like I got too ahead of myself. And to be fair, Miller's is new. They're new to town. They probably did not even know that I had already had a relationship with Chili's. And that's on me, right? When it comes to these kinds of things, communication is so important. And the thing is, Miller's didn't do anything wrong. Chili's didn't do anything wrong. The one who did something wrong was me. My lack of communication with Miller's, my lack of communication with Chili's. And so I just really feel like if I had a third restaurant that I could go to talk to and try to work through these problems, like a therapy restaurant, I I think that would really help me figure out how to navigate this, because this is tricky. I've never been in a spot like this before. I've never been in this kind of a conundrum. So if any of the listeners out there know of a good therapeutic restaurant to go to whenever you're trying to have like heavy conversation, whenever you're trying to have whenever you're trying to like figure out, oh wait, hold on, I think it's Elliot's, right? I think it's Elliot's. Is Elliot's the one that has the dippin' sandwich? Is Elliot's the one that has the sandwich where you can like you dip the oh, what do you call it? Oh, it's gonna make me so mad. I'm pretty sure it's Elliot's, where you can get like the French onion dip sandwich, and golly, that's a good sandwich. I wonder, it does make me wonder. That's not Elliot's. What the hell is Elliot's? What's the name of the one I'm trying to come up with? Oh, man. Elliot's look good, though. Hey, Elliot's, how you doing? No, it's okay, Elliot's. I already closed the tab for Chili's and Miller's. Let's go. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. I hope that you got all the information that you needed, and I hope that you got none of the information that you wanted. As always, I am Harold. Thank you for spending your noonan time with me. I love you. Have a good evening on this Sunday night. Good night.